I got that James Dean daydream look in my eye. You got that red lip plastic thing that I like when we go crashing down. We come back every time. Never go out of style, out of style.
Midnight, you come and pick me up, no headlights.
Hey guys, so to get started with this look, I'm first using a primer. This is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I'm applying this all over the entire lid space, and then I'm going to be blending it out with a blending brush. This is just from IT Cosmetics. So I like using a primer as the first step because I feel like it really does help the shadows to stay on, and it also prevents them from creasing. This is from Origins. It's actually a cream shadow. I can't remember the exact name of it, so I will definitely put the link to this as well as everything else that I'm using down in the description box. So I am putting this a little on the eyelid itself and then also into the crease, and I'm blending this out with my fingertip. So what this is going to do is help the darker shadows become more darker and also work as a transition color for the other crease shadows that we will be using later on. But I'm basically just focusing this on the outer corner of the eye. This is the Stila Nouveau Natural Eyes palette. We are picking up the lightest shade from this palette. This one has more of like a pearlescent type of finish to it. I'm using a flat shader brush. This is from Smashbox to apply this onto the inner half of the eyelid. And I'm actually gonna go in with about 2 layers of this because I want it to look nice and vibrant. And this shade is called Kitten. Going back into the palette, I'm picking up Jezebel, which is a bronzy shade with a lot of shimmer in it, and I just flipped over my brush, used the other side of it to apply this to the outer half of the eyelid. Now going into that same palette with the other side of my Smashbox eyeshadow brush. This is sort of like an angled blending brush. It's nice and thin, so I can really get this shade into the crease. And this one here, I believe, is called Individual. It's like a matte light brown, and it has like sort of an orangey undertone to it. It's a really, really nice color to just blend everything out in that crease area. Next, I'm using the shade Cocoa. It's a dark matte brown with a pencil brush and applying this right where the lashes end and going up into the crease just a tad bit. And I am also extending this out a little bit past my natural eye shape. And what this is going to do is just make the eyes appear more elongated and also kind of darken up that outer area. So now I'm going in with a clean blending brush and just blending everything together. For eyeliner today, I decided to use Stila Waterproof Liquid Liner in Intense Black. And I like using this one, although today I didn't because it is kind of running out. I need to get a new one. But I do find that it is easy to apply when it has a lot of like ink in it. Guys, I needed to get a new one. I was kind of struggling here. I'm just basically applying, you know, the usual winged eyeliner. I am keeping it away from the inner corner just so I don't close off the eyes too much. And I'm using right here, you can see my fingernail to just clean things up a bit. Today, I decided to go in with my favorite lashes from the drugstore. These are 120 Demis from Ardell, and I love these so much because they look natural, but they still, you know, give my lashes the volume that they need, and they are also like so lightweight. They're really easy to apply. Alright, this is the darkest brown from the palette. I am in love with this color. Anytime I ever do a smoky eye look, I will always bring this in through the outer corner because it just creates such a beautiful contrast between that lighter shade on the lid, and it blends out so nicely. So here you can see I just put a tiny little bit in the very, very outer corner, and then with my clean blending brush, I'm going through and blending this out. And I really find that it honestly just smokes out the look and makes it look so perfect. So I am totally obsessed with this. And I find that it finishes off the entire eye look. And the reason I'm doing this darker shade after I've already done my eyeliner, after I've already done my lashes, is because sometimes it's really hard for me to see my crease because I have hooded lids and they're just my eyes are very small in general. But once I put those lashes on and I have the eyeliner on, it's much easier for me to see exactly where the shade needs to go. So then, just because of all the blending, I did find I lost a little bit of that sparkly, bronzy shade, so I just applied a tiny bit more of that where we had first applied it and blended it out with my finger. Going in with the e.l.f. Cream Eyeliner. This is probably one of my favorites. It makes that liner blacker, more dark and intense, and I am doing the second layer because we did do some blending, so we kind of lost a little bit of that, you know, Stila eyeliner, but the Stila eyeliner was really just kind of to get like the general shape there, if that makes sense. And this also helps to cover the lashes, the false lashes, so you can't see that obvious line there. So here I'm going in with Maybelline Sensational mascara and applying this vertically, going into the lashes so that it completely blends my natural lashes in with the false lashes. That way there's no gaps or anything, as you guys can see. Alright, so for the face, I'm using this from Paula's Choice. It is a like moisture renewal oil, and blending this in all over. I just applied it, you know, to the very high points of the face. And I love using this because I feel like my foundation just glides on much more smoothly. I have super dry skin, and I really would only recommend this for those of you who have like normal to dry skin. And this is just gonna get rid of all the dry patches and just really smooth everything out. I find that working with the face, like prepping it as much as you possibly can before you apply foundation really helps, especially if you're gonna be photographed or if you're gonna be on camera. So here I'm applying a moisturizer. This is from e.l.f. It's called the Daily Hydrating Moisturizer. I really like this one a lot, especially after using that oil first. Unfortunately, this one doesn't give like enough hydration for me if I use it alone, so it does help using the oil first. I just applied that all over my face, and now I'm going to be using a primer. This is the Professional from Benefit. This is probably one of my favorites. I always end up going to it just because I love the way that it smooths out my face and completely gets rid of all of my pores. So now we can finally do foundation. Today I wanted to use my Bare Minerals Bare Skin foundation because I love how like bright it makes my skin look. It also gives me a really nice tan. I feel like it looks awesome on camera and in photos. It just makes my face look like it is completely radiating from within. Like, it gives such a beautiful glow. And I'm just, you know, using a IT Cosmetics brush to blend this baby out all over my face. Then I'm going in with a little bit of concealer under the eyes first. This is Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Fair. And I'm using the same foundation brush to blend this out because I really like that nice and blended look. I don't like any obvious lines of, you know, here's foundation, here's concealer. I really like everything to just kind of come together and have like a natural gradation. I'm also applying this, as you guys can see now, on the tip of my nose and on my forehead, but I accidentally applied way too much on my nose, so I kind of had to blend that out a little bit more with my finger. But I love doing my face makeup. It's like one of my most favorite parts of doing my makeup. I feel like you can get so artistic with it. Really making sure to blend that concealer out and keeping the entire center of my face lighter. And then here I'm going back in with a little bit more foundation, just kind of blending it out, just, you know, to perfect everything. I mean, hey, if you're gonna be on camera and you're gonna be, you know, taking pictures and stuff, you really want your face to look as perfect as possible. So I'm just kind of perfecting everything. Alright, now to set everything, I'm using Cover FX Illuminating Setting Powder. So this stuff is really cool because it does smooth out the face, completely gets rid of, you know, oiliness and all of that. But at the same time, it also provides some more radiance, which is what I really like because I do have dry skin. And it just, you know, continues with, you know, that glow that we were trying to get with the face. I just love the way that it looks. It's honestly so gorgeous. It's almost like a pearl finish. I just like to use this flat top foundation brush to apply it, just because it applies it more in a thin layer so that it's not like caked up on my face. And I am just applying this wherever I applied the concealer, you know, keeping that lightness in the center of the face, really making sure to blend this out. Just, you know, going over chin, nose, under eyes, and forehead. The next step is to bronze up the face. I like to do this right after my foundation because it just helps to give my face more warmth so that it's not so pale looking. I'm using Physicians Formula bronzer. I will put the link to this down in the description box. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I believe it's light to medium is the shade, so it's perfect for lighter skin tones. I'm just running this through the top of my cheekbones, my chin, and my forehead. Then I'm going in with my favorite Anastasia contour kit and picking up a very small tapered brush, I believe this is from Sigma, and taking this darkest shade from the palette and applying it so lightly, like very, very lightly, to where I want that shadow on my cheekbone. So for blush, I went in with Milani Romantic Rose. It's shaped like a flower. I totally forgot to show you guys it, but it is so cute. I showed it in my latest March favorites video if you want to see what it looks like. But you can get this at any drugstore. And I'm using this broken brush from BH Cosmetics because I love it and I need to get a new one. But it's like a angled dual fiber brush, so it doesn't apply too much of it, and it just, you know, makes it look nice and light. For the lower lash line, I'm going in with Gilded Gold. It is a dark brown with gold reflex in it. So you guys know I had to use this on the lower lash line because I always choose colors like this for that area. It just really helps the eyes to stand out more. I'm using a smudger brush from Smashbox to just pat this right where the lashes grow to help give more definition to the eyes, you know, a little more shape there. And I am leaving the inner like third of that lower lash line open so that my eyes aren't completely closed off since they are smaller. So I really will do anything I can to make them look bigger and more elongated. So here I'm going in with a little bit of mascara. This is L'Oreal Telescopic, a new one that I've been trying lately. And I do have to say, guys, I like it more than my Rimmel Lash Accelerator. I know I thought I would never say that ever in a million years, but this one really does give my lashes so much length. It is awesome. Guess what, guys? I finally got my birthday gift from Sephora. Woo! So happy. I'm using one of the NARS lippies right here. I don't remember the shade of it. I'll put it down in the description box for you guys. But I'm using this on the center of the lips just to get that natural flush to them. And then I'm going over it with a gloss. This is from e.l.f. and it is in the shade Brian. It is the most gorgeous light pink. I had this lip gloss in my March favorites because it is so freaking amazing. And not to mention, it is super cheap, but it just gives that perfect pink pout to the lips. Very girly, very feminine, and it goes so well with a brown smoky eye. And I felt like this really did finish off the look, and it's just like, my most favorite lip gloss ever. Anyways, guys, that is it for the completed look. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please give it a thumbs up before you leave. Leave me a comment down below if you have any other suggestions for videos or tutorials you'd like me to do. Definitely leave those in the comments down below too, because I love doing videos that you guys suggest. Actually, you guys suggested this one, which is why I ended up doing it, even though I'm 25 years old and I'm definitely not going to prom anytime soon. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.